We are live. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live. And this morning on the Huddle, I have a question for you. Are you a person who struggles to have a smooth running live streaming show that stays on topic and that stays on time, engaging your audience? Well, this morning, we're going to share 5 tips on helping you to have a smooth running live streaming show that engages your audience and encourages connection and change in a viewer's life. And we're starting right now. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Huddle. I'm your host, Walter Strong. If you're new here and you want to be able to live stream, having tips and tools that'll make live streaming easy for you as a beginner, we welcome you to the show. And as we said this morning, we're going to share 5 tips on helping you to have a smooth running live streaming show that stays on topic, that stays on time, and that is organized to engage your audience. And so if you're joining me this morning on YouTube or LinkedIn, let me know in the chat where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live in the chat and where you're watching me from. And if you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag Team Replay. And if you are listening to us, but you're driving to work this morning, or you're behind the wheel and you're working, but you can't hit that like button, we appreciate you listening online to the Huddle this morning as well. And so let me know in the chat where you're watching me from. We're on YouTube. We're on LinkedIn as we get ready to get into this content. 5 tips on helping you to have a smooth live stream show. And how do you do that? You have to have what's called in the media and television world, in the movie industry world, a run of show. A run of show is something that helps you as a live streamer who goes live to have a smooth running live stream show that's going to help you stay on topic. You know, maybe you're a person who live streams and you have a topic written down, but you have all this other stuff that comes to your mind when you're going live, and you're engaging in the audience, and next thing you know, you start over here, and now you're somewhere over on left field, and you're like, how did I get over here? How do I get back to what I originally wanted to talk about? That's what we're going to talk about, the importance of a running show. So let me know in the chat where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live on YouTube and LinkedIn. Let's get a definition. Well, first of all, what is a runner show? Some people call it a run sheet. Some call it a show flow, but most people know it as a runner show. A runner show is a step-by-step outline of how you want your live stream show to flow when you go live. A step-by-step process of how you want your live stream to be presented to your viewers, whether if they're live or on the replay. It's a step-by run sheet, a step-by-step show flow that helps you to be able to present your content in the best format that's going to add value to your viewers, whether if they're live or on the replay. So that's our definition that we're going to work off. But let's talk about some tips and benefits of how a runner show will help you as a live streamer, that will help you as a new beginner who wants to make live streaming easy for yourself when you're just starting out. You've gone through that phase of procrastinating and not pressing the go live button. And now you have the courage to want to get in front of the camera and go live. But you need a format, a show flow, a runner show that's going to help you go forth and do it. Well, the first tip that a running show is going to help me or you, existing or beginner, is it's going to help me and you to be organized. It's going to organize us in how we present our content. Being organized so that there is a flow, that when our audience engages us, whether on YouTube or on LinkedIn, a show flow, if we're podcasting, audio or video, is it presents a flow of the content being presented. You ever listen to a live stream or a podcast um, to someone where it's just that there's no flow to it. It's just kind of choppy. It's sort of all over the place. The individual they sort of have an outline to what they want to do, but they suffer from that freestyle syndrome, that freestyle of wanting to just go and freestyle off the top of their head and just, they haven't really taken the time to really to kind of really digest the content that they want to share. They have a lot of head knowledge about what they want to share, but they really haven't taken the time to digest the content so that they can then share it. And then what happens is, because they haven't really digested, they haven't really meditated on it, they haven't really, really consumed that what they want to share with others. When they present it, it's like taking a bottle of champagne, taking the cork off, and the champagne goes all over the place. And they're like, whoa, wait a minute, hold up. This is too much coming at me. And that's a sign that a person is not operating from having a run of show for their live stream. So a live stream that has a run of show or show flow has a flow to it. It also has structure to it. It provides some structure for the host, the live streamer, of how they're going to present their content. It's a structure. So, for example, when we started our live stream show, we opened up with an opening hook. We gave a brief tidbit or teaser of what the live stream was going to be about. We then went into our opening intro music, and then we greeted everyone. And then from we greeting everyone, we kind of, set the objectives and the outline, and then we went into the content. That's all part of a structure of a run of show. And then after you do that structure, you then go into maybe 3 to 5 tips. The first tip, you get into the first point, which we talked about, being organized. And then you go into the second tip, and you hit your second tip, and then you take the time to engage people that's in the audience. So we hit being organized. It helps you to have a flow of your show. It helps you to be structured, and it also gives you a professional look. A professional look where you can maybe use StreamYard's banners and be able to pull up different points, or you can use something like Canva, like I do with slide presentation, and it gives you a run of show, a professional look, a brand color look that your viewers will appreciate. And so this is all part of making live streaming easy for you as a beginner, that be able to connect with your audience so you can build some credibility with viewers that are new and existing. You can make a human connection with your viewers, whether if they're new or existing. Tip number 2, it helps you to stay on topic. Staying on topic when you're doing live streaming, it's different from doing a pre-recorded video and you uploading and waiting for individuals to watch, because people are engaging you live as you go live, and they see you in real time. And so that can be a little nerve-wracking. That can be a little intimidating for the first time you do it. But when you have a run of show, it helps you to stay focused. It helps you with a run of show to be able to look down at your notes and get back to the camera, so that way you're making eye contact with the viewer. It also helps you so that you're not drifting. Are you one of those types of individuals when you do a live stream and you're going live and engaging your viewers live or on the replay? Do you drift sometimes? You started on this one point of your topic of what you want to share, but you kind of go down a rabbit hole and now you're drifting. Well, a run of show is going to help you to stop drifting and going down a rabbit hole. And it's going to help you. This is important. If you take nothing else from this tip right here, it helps you to set the table. You ever been a part of a live stream show of some of the big name individuals like say like a Nick Nimmin or Lori Petrucci or Julie Riley, and from StreamYard, and they have all these individuals engaging in the chat, and the live stream moderators are communicating with him. But from time to time, they set the table because they realize new people come into the chat. And they say, hey, if you're just joining me, we're talking about 5 important tips today on how a run of show can help your live stream show run smoothly. So this lets the new individuals just coming into the chat that this is what the topic is, and they don't get caught up in any side conversations in the chat. It helps you to set the table. And so a run of show helps you to be organized. It helps you to stay on topic, stay focused, not drift, and set the table from time to time as you're doing your live stream so you can build credibility, so you can connect with your audience, and you can add value to those who are watching you. Hey, do me a favor. If you're just joining me, hit that thumbs up button, click that thumbs up like button for me. Share this on your favorite social media platform as we talk about the importance of a run of show. And so as we've been talking around run a show, we hit our topics. Hey, let's jump over to the chat and see who's joining us this morning. Oh man, you talk about returning legends just joining us this morning. Hey mate, what's up? My man Ash Bolin, all the way from London, joining me here on the Huddle this morning. If you are listening to me on LinkedIn, put some comments on the LinkedIn side as well. Let me know where you're watching me from. Mr. Ash says here on the YouTube side, you're back. Yes, sir. We are back. We are back. So excited. We came back last week and it was long overdue. It was long overdue. We're definitely going to have a conversation or two. Ash goes on to say, oh yeah, all done. All done. Yes. Okay. There we go. So we're just scrolling down. I wouldn't miss this. Appreciate. Then we also got the man, the live stream moderator, Action Jackson, Frank Jackson in the house. Good morning. Keep those chat comments coming. If you're on YouTube or live stream, we are talking about 5 tips on helping you to have a smooth running live stream by the importance of using a run of show. And a run of show is not just for the host, but a run of show is even for individuals like my man Frank, the live stream moderator, who moderates for Equip Institute Power Productivity and Planning live stream show. So that way he can kind of flow with the host Florence, and she's doing her live streaming show. So a run of show is not just for you, but it's for your team. It's for your team as well. So that's a bonus tip since we got Frank here. All right. So we talked about tip number 2, staying on topic. Let's continue on. Tip number 3, it not only helps you to be organized, not only helps you to stay on topic, but it also helps you to stay on time, especially if you are new to live streaming. You're new to live streaming and you want to make live streaming easy for you as a beginner. Because when you see individuals who've been live streaming for a moment on these content creation streets, you see sometimes they're live streaming up for at least an hour and a half to 2 hours to 3 hours, and you're like, man, I can't go that long. I ain't got that much to talk about. Well, don't. Start where you are and present the content with what you have. And so that way you stay on time, so that way you just get to the point. Make your point in what you want to share. Share a story if you have a story that connects with it, because the power of storytelling helps you to be able to, connect with your audience. But if you don't have a story to go with it, share your point and share why it's relevant, and then move on. Don't be long-winded like me. Don't be long-winded like me. This has been something I've had to work on for the last 3 to 4 years in live streaming. Being a person who's long-winded and a person who likes to talk, I can look up and I'm already at the hour mark if I'm not careful. So I have to learn to stay on point, make my point, move on, especially now. And we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but in repurposing your content and taking clips and making shorts, from your live stream, so that way you just don't do your live and then just end the broadcast, but you keep pulling content from it. So you want to just get to the point, boom, and move on. And then, staying on time helps you to be able, if you're going to put, markers um, in your live stream, you StreamYard just had a new feature put in where you can kind of add markers to certain points of your live stream, so that when you go back to do your YouTube chapters, you can put your chapters in. And so you're mindful about staying on time. Tip number 4, as we talked on, repurposing. A run a show, you can be able to take that outline and be able to repurpose your content. Now, whether if you're repurposing the content yourself, or if you have someone on your team who does your repurposing, like a video editor. At one point I had a video editor, and I would have my run a show, and then I would go back, look at the video of the live stream, and then add the chapters of where I wanted to repurpose certain clips or shorts within the live stream. So all I would do was just put those time codes in, and then email the run a show to the video editor, and I would download a copy of the live stream, and then the person who was doing my repurposing would then just go to work and then send me all my clips and my shorts or reels back to me. Well, times moved on, and now, through that person moved on, I've learned and developed my own skill of being able to do my own shorts. I've been able to learn to do my own reels now, being able to, use things like caption and put my own captions in, being able to add music by putting Epidemic in, and now, whether if I'm repurposing them from the live stream themselves, or taking the run a show, going into Canva, and just creating all brand new shorts from the run a show that I did from my live stream show. So a run a show gives you so many opportunities to be able to repurpose the content, whether from the live stream itself or doing it from scratch and just following your run a show. So that way you're not scratching your head saying, what do I want to make this short about? What do I want to make this clip or reel about? Gives you the ability to repurpose the live stream. Hey, do me a favor, if you're just joining me, we're talking about 5 tips on helping you to be able to have a run a show that's going to help your live stream run smoothly. So if that's something that's important to you as a live streamer, click that thumbs up button for me. Share this on your favorite social media platform. Share it on Instagram. Share it on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, share it on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, embed it in your website so the individuals on your website can get some value out of it. And if you are just joining me and you've never subscribed to the Huddle, and you being able to have tips and tools that will make live streaming easy for you as a beginner, I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel, click the alert notification button, and join the conversation with us in the live chat. So with that said, let's just jump back over and see who's in the chat with us. Oh yeah, we got my dear sister Florence from Equip Institute just joining us as we are greeting and joining and enjoying one another. We also have my man Tech Troublemaker. You have to forgive me, Tech. My Tech, gotta forgive me. My voice is a little on the rough side this morning, so I can't hit it as like I want to. Frank says, oh yes, greetings to Florence. Everyone just greeting one another in the Huddle community. So if you are on LinkedIn, also throw your comments as well. Click that thumbs up button on the LinkedIn side and leave us a comment or thought, and we'll definitely respond back to you. So let's continue on. Tip number 5, run a show. I love this analogy, this comparison that Laura Petrucci gives when she talks about a show flow or run a show. So got to give credit to where credit is due. It's like a live stream GPS. A live stream GPS that you may have, say, in your phone that you connect to your car, or the GPS that you have built in the car, or the GPS that you plug into the car so that you can get to the destination you want to go to, especially this holiday season where you wanted to be able to go to grandma's and have some turkey and some macaroni and cheese and some greens and some candy yam and some ham, whatever your tickles your fancy on Thanksgiving, or some lamb, whatever it was that just some Cajun turkey. That's what we had, some Cajun turkey. But we needed to set the GPS to get to the grandma's destination. The run of show is the GPS, that it's the roadmap to let you know, so that way when you need to go into a different direction because there's obstruction coming up the way, you can avoid the traffic jam, you can avoid the obstruction so you can get to grandma's house. It's the navigation tool. Well, that's what the run of show is. And I love that example that Laura Petrucci gives on defining what a run of show is. So if you're struggling, a run of show, I know people in the media world does it. TV people use it. They use a run of show. Think of it as your live stream GPS. The destination for you is to be able to go live, present some great quality content for your viewers that really makes a connection with them, that builds credibility with them and encourages change in helping them, whether if they are interested in being a better mortgage broker, like Ash from Mortgage Broker, Florence working with people in leadership and management. Florence, individuals working in leadership and management for productivity purposes, or tech into YouTube tips and tools and making content. It's a run a show, a live stream GPS that's going to help you to get to your destination to the end, so that viewers can be able to walk away from your live stream show and say, and from a bonus point standpoint, even for the replay, you putting those chapters in, and you maybe you have the run a show in the description section. Your viewers can follow along with you right where you go, because it's nothing frustrating to go to a YouTube channel and you're trying to follow where the person is going and they all over the place. The audio is terrible and they all over the place too. You're like, yeah, thanks. Move on. Keep it moving. So let's get the summary. A run a show is going to help me and you to be organized. It's going to help me and you to stay on topic. It's going to help me and you to stay on time. It's going to help me and you to better repurpose our content. And it helps us to understand that run a show helps me and you to have a live stream show that runs smoothly in being our live stream GPS. And so right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the content. And the question of the day that I have for you is, do you use a run a show, and how do you use it to be able to make your run a show, your live stream show, run smoothly? Let me know in the chat if you're watching on YouTube or LinkedIn, and if you're watching the replay of the comment section, let me know, how are you utilizing a run a show? And if you say, Walter, I don't use one. This is the first time me hearing about a run a show. And Walter, I really need to use something like this. Do me a favor. If you're watching the replay, and you don't have a run a show, I'm going to, you just let me know in the chat or the comment section. Hit me up on Instagram. I'm on IG, Instagram, or I'm on LinkedIn. Reach out to me in the messenger of one of those two, and I'll send you a free copy of a run a show sheet that you can use as a format for your future run a shows. I don't have a link that you can click on to download and to get, but if you want a copy of my run a show of what we use, not only for solo shows, but even if you're co-hosting or interviewing a guest, I'll give it to you for free. So let me know on Instagram or LinkedIn or in the chat or the comments section on the replay, and we'll get that to you. We'll get that to you so that way you can have a run of show that runs smoothly. Okay, let's see some other comments before we get up on out of here. Mr. Ash says, just a greeting. He's just a greeting. Florence, cool. That's good. Tech, okay. Tech has comment. If you have a comment, put a C in front of a comment. If you have a question, put a Q in front of a question. It is so much to have. Let me start over. It is so much fun to have no idea where I'm going. Okay. Knowing you the way I think I know you, Tech, I understand that for you to be successful on YouTube, having over 700 subscribers, I know not to take you serious on this because I know you're trying to march towards 1,000 subscribers, and I would submit to you, if you were serious, there's no way you would be able to be where you're at, because people want quality content from people on YouTube. Viewers who are on mobile phones and who have very small not small attention span, they just don't want to devote a lot of time on a lot of nonsense. There's no way that someone would want to watch someone that has that type of mentality, because it will bleed over into how you present something. So I know that, that's the humorous side of you. But for the new live streamer who's just joining us, the new live streamer, or the person who's thinking about live streaming and they haven't hit the go live button yet and they're watching the replay, I want you to understand, when you see that statement, that comment, if that's you and you don't have an idea, sitting down and putting a run of show is something that's so important. And I apologize. I should have had my run of show template up today. I mean, that's definitely something we can do at another time. But a run of show is going to help you so that if you are in that place of what Tech is sharing about, we want to move you from that point to the point where you have a smooth running show. Tech goes on to say, I work through okay. I work through ideas and I create bullet points. That's the point there we want to pull up there. So you look at, if you're the individual who has no idea of how to do a run a show, Tech just gave you the answer. Sitting down and putting together bullet points for your run a show. It don't have to be, don't look on YouTube and I got 50 bullet points, 50 tips. If you've ever watched those Marvel DC reaction videos and the person says, I got 50 Easter eggs that I got from the latest episode of Loki, of the finale. I got 50 Easter eggs. I'm not sitting there watching 50 Easter eggs on what you got out of the finale out of Loki. Man, give me what I need. Give me 3 to 5 bullet points on what I need of what you got from the latest episode of Loki. It's the same in terms of entertainment. It's the same in terms of education. And like Tech said, just writing bullet points. So if you don't have a run of show that you don't want to use, you can put bullet points. I'll show you in StreamYard. They have banners. They have what's called banners in StreamYard. So let me go to banners. Where am I at? Banners. Did I move it? Okay, here we go. So if I wanted to pull up, here's some information from one of my other YouTube channels, and I'm letting individuals know what the topic is, where I can use one of these banners on StreamYard, and let you know what the topic is. And then I want to share a couple of points on why I think this topic on the Los Angeles Lakers are. So sometimes putting your run of show in banners is another good way. Bullet points, like Tech said. I want to say good morning to my man on the West Coast, Mr. Paul Andre De Vera. from the SEO video show. Great show yesterday, Paul. Enjoyed listening to your live stream show while I was at work. Definitely got a lot out of it from that, what you shared about the importance of how to rank your website on search engines such as Google and Bing. So if you did not, those of you in the huddle, if you are struggling with getting some website traffic to your landing page or your website, you want to check out Paul, SEO. Paul, do me a favor, put that link in the chat for me, especially for those of us in the huddle who may have a website and we're struggling to be able to get traffic to that website, especially being Black Friday. You're seeing everybody else going to someone else's page and buying product and merchandise, and no one's coming to your page. You ain't getting no traffic. Paul, do me a favor, put that link in the chat for me, and so that people can check out that latest episode on website traffic on the SEL show with Paul Andre de Vera. Oh yeah. So, any other questions? Please give me a Q in front of the questions, C in front of the comments. Because like Tex said, if you're just starting out, you want to be able to create bullet points. I want to go back to this point right quick. We're waiting for any comments or questions. Using bullet points. And maybe, you're not really familiar on how to run a show together on a run sheet or a slide presentation. Just jotting down some bullet points and just getting to the point. Don't get on a tangent and go all over the place. Make your point, move on. And next thing you know, your live stream is going to probably be anywhere from 15, 20 minutes. And then that's a benefit from a replay standpoint. That was the point that I was originally trying to get back to with text comment here. This is great to help me and you from a replay standpoint, because individuals are very busy and they have a lot of things being thrown at them. And so having a bullet point in your live stream, run a show, is going to help you to be able to say what you need to say no more, and keep it moving. Florence says she has a question, so let's start this. Yes, thank you. Helps me definitely helps a brother see your question or your comment. Yeah, please help a brother out. So I don't want to not miss anything, especially those of you who are watching me on LinkedIn. We are at the 32-minute mark. And so haven't done this in a while. We'll give this a few minutes to see if there are any questions or comments. Pop your win of the week in the chat for me. What's your win of the week from a content related standpoint? What is a win of the week from a content related standpoint? Just want to give some time as I wait. Win of the week from a content related standpoint, just getting back in the saddle with the huddle again. Had to step away to really just because it how do I say it? I had gotten to a point where I didn't see how to move the huddle forward. I didn't see how. I felt like the huddle wasn't growing. I had the community, you guys, I truly value, but I couldn't answer the question, how do I attract new viewers and new audience? Because the goal is to be able to reach certain thresholds so we can be monetized, not just from off of YouTube's partnership program, but getting those watch hours of 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers and really growing this. And so I really couldn't see how that was possible, and so I needed to step away. And in stepping away, it gave me a lot of clarity, just starting a new channel and just kind of going back to the basics and learning some certain things. And so when the time came, a couple of people said to me, as good as you are at this here, you are so much better with what you were doing. You were so much better. And yes, at that moment, the things didn't reflect what you were looking for. But if you go back, I guarantee you that what you're trying to accomplish over here is going to happen so much faster. And so that's my win of the week, and just really being able to say, okay, let's get back in the saddle and do this again. Even when I said I wasn't going to do it. Maybe you're one of those individuals saying, I'm not going back and doing this. I am done. Sometimes you need to step away. You just need to step away for a while and then look back at it from a different perspective. Florence says, I did not mute myself last night in my live stream. That's not a win. That is not a win, Florence. Muting yourself on your live streams is just something that is a part of the experience and enjoying the Power Productivity Planning live stream show. Frank, are you still here in the chat? Let me know in the chat. Give me a hashtag Mute Nation, Frank. If you've ever watched Florence's show on Friday nights at 6:30 p.m., give me a hashtag Mute Nation. It's just a part of the experience, Florence. I'm sorry. You got to come better with that win. He says, boop, boop, boop. Scheduled up with all my content on every platform. Perfect. And we definitely going to get back into, this, the direction that with the huddle, we're going to really focus on some other areas, but we're going to stay to the core basics and just helping live streaming individuals who are starting out and beginning, and just giving them the fundamentals and the basics, pulling it from individuals from the huddle community, you sharing your experience on live streaming. Because as I'm starting to meet new individuals that are interested in live streaming, these fundamentals, these basics are just not being put into practice and using to run a show. And so we definitely want to provide that. Florence says that is a win. You talking about hash, Florence, or you muting yourself? That's the win when you mute yourself. Frank says hashtag Mute Nation. There we go. I love you, Florence. Love you. Well, if there are no other wins in the chat here, or especially on LinkedIn, we're gonna go ahead and bring this live stream episode of the Huddle to a close. We're going to bring the train into the station. So I want to thank each and every one of you. Paul, make sure you put that chat there. Did he put that link in? All right. If not, I will definitely make sure individuals who are interested in that, I will, if you are trying to really get traffic to your website, I'll make sure I get that information to you. Those of you in the Huddle community, just email me and I'll get you the link to that episode. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring this train into the station. I want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of the Huddle this evening. Those of you on the replay, those of you who have been listening online, but you're driving today. You're doing the Uber thing and getting people from point A to point B, but you can't engage. But I want to appreciate you listening. Or if you're in the gym working out, I want to appreciate you as an online listener just checking us out this morning on the Huddle. So without further ado, we will see you all next Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Huddle. God bless.